What's up, everyone? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
We are on the verge of building our empire. Two good-looking, individual, solo, single, 29-year-olds. And Frank G, I think it's time we have an Inside the Empire episode.
Inside the Empire, deep diving.
So when we have an Inside the Empire episode, that typically means that we're just going to converse, bullshit, maybe tell you some facts about us so you can get to know us and our journey of building our massive empire that could take decades. I mean, the only thing stopping me, at least, is either myself or death.
Yeah, I think most things that stop anyone is themselves. A lot of people don't find that creativity. I was just talking to my boy, Jose, shout out Jose. He seems to be real creative lately. He said after having some discussions like with me and maybe had a little creativity weekend, he said he's just been creating, just feeling good. So, it's all up to you, certainly.
Well, it's about self-awareness, right? You have to be self-aware to understand what you like, what you don't like, and how to motivate yourself.
What you want to spend your time on.
I mean, it's always slightly uncomfortable when someone who follows me on Instagram is like, "Hey, Chris, you motivate me," because there's nothing I do to motivate anyone, right? I think that's an internal spark within someone, and your words or context slightly enhances them, but in no way, shape, or form should you credit you being motivated to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're saying more of as in how they see your mindset is and how you're moving. They're like, you know what? Why am I not doing that? But yeah, I mean, you're not purposely saying things to, I guess, well, you kind of are, right? You want people to be motivated by you, just not the sole reason of motivation.
Well, the sole reason, like, I'm not intentionally trying to motivate people. What I'm trying to do is showcase a mindset that is necessary and needed to build an empire, right? You can't build an empire if you don't have a creative aspect or any sort of ambitions or skills to create a strategy to actually execute.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I would say a lot of people, whether they're young or inexperienced with, I don't know, entrepreneurship, they probably follow you. So why would that, that's motivating. You could change someone's perspective, kind
of. It's not that I'm changing their perspective. I'm showing them my perspective.
Yeah,
and that's great. The problem when people use the word motivation is that word is thrown around too loosely, right? People watch Gary Vee and are motivated, but
but doesn't on mean, what?
Exactly. It doesn't mean you're passionate and obsessed with something so much that you're gonna give 2, 3, 5, 10 years into working.
Yeah. There's definitely a difference between watching Gary Vee and being like, "Oh, this is exactly how I want to be," and then having nothing to do, or just doing nothing. Yeah.
I mean, and then you also again have to be self-aware. What is it that you want to accomplish and do, and how far do you actually want to go? I mean, I started learning playing guitar in the beginning of the year. I don't want to be a guitarist musician making money playing in front of crowds. I just want to learn a few songs.
But you never know where the journey takes you.
You never know where the journey takes you, and opportunity is a bitch. I mean, it's crazy when it comes.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll play the song you're trying to learn right now. I don't know if you let the people know, but someone might catch wind of that, and they'll let you go on stage with them.
Well, you never know, right? I mean, I could be sitting in a theater in a magic show, and the announcer could be like, "Does anyone know how to play guitar?" And I just raise my hand, and there I am.
Like, you see that in like concerts where the lead singer is like who plays guitar, and then the guy who they put on stage kills it better than them.
And it's just crazy. Now, I recently spoke to one of my mentors, and he was slightly upset that he made a bid on a large property and he ended up not winning the bid. And I have this uncanny ability to read energy, to know when people are down, when they're up, just based on how they act on social and how they even watch me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I use I use a door analogy that I came up with, and it's very fascinating. Is that people get so excited when all of a sudden a door opens, like a job opportunity, right? Someone who knows someone could get this person a job interview, and now they're absolutely ecstatic that they can get this job, right?
Yeah. I mean, are you going to stay motivated afterwards? Problem.
Well, no. What's fascinating is, let's say they don't get the job.
Mm.
Now
Oh,
they're,
they're in the dumps.
they're in the dumps when they were so high. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
just they were living because the door opened and now the door closed. Now my perspective and my mind state is 2 months ago you did not know that first initial door was even going to open,
Yeah, just go find another door.
or you just have to be patient and wait for those doors.
Yeah, in due time. In due time, things will come,
Rule number three. Rule number three.
and they may not last forever, but guess what? It came once, it'll come again.
I see. I believe that and don't believe that. I feel like sometimes maybe things don't come again, right? I
Well,
mean,
it depends what it is.
well, you could look at love. I mean, and Valentine's Day just passed, and love is one thing I have yet. Love and time are still the most confusing things, and I can't wrap my head around it.
I
But
mean, yeah.
I mean, you may not find love again. You don't know.
Yeah, but but when you don't find love, what are you doing? Are you going on dates? Are you going out? Are you like looking for these doors, or are you just letting time pass by and not doing anything? If
I
you
get.
really want to find love.
Well, I've read that if you're looking for love, you have to leave your comfort zones.
Yeah, it's like with almost anything, kind of. I mean, when you're
Yeah,
learning new things, I would say, I guess. But I mean, if you haven't found love and if you're looking for love and it's something that you haven't found yet, you clearly have to go somewhere else, which is, I guess, out of your comfort zone.
I think it's out of your comfort zone. Like if I was to move where I am currently, and let's say go to like Arizona, fuck it, I'm stationed in Arizona. I
Mm-hmm.
would imagine the first friend I have, maybe not the first, but the second, is gonna be some nice looking women, girl.
So you're more likely to make friends with a woman, you're saying?
No, I'm saying my first friend is likely to probably be a male, but my second friend would be likely to be a female, which could spiral down into a relationship, taking me out of my comfort zone into a new spot. Now I'm living in Arizona with an Arizona girlfriend,
An
FaceTime and
Arizonian.
Frank G.
Yeah, man, I'll certainly come visit you in this time of the year. It's brick as hell over here. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, for the audience that we have around the globe
true.
in France, shout out
Solid.
France, brick means cold.
And if you have been watching you or listening, you would know we are from New York, one of the 5 boroughs.
Yes,
Well, I figured in France they may not know that.
I'm sure they know
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're doing.
apparently we have a few France listeners all the time.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to France. We love France.
Yeah, I think we spoke about France last episode.
Yeah, we did. So we gave you your shout outs. All right, we're moving on.
Yeah. We need to find some new shout outs.
Oh man, well, people listen from all over the country. It's crazy. I mean, it is kind of wild to understand that people listen to your voice. And I told you a couple of weeks ago I was on a podcast as a guest for in the UK.
Yeah, I remember.
They're constantly reaching out to me, asking me questions on how to essentially build their empire, which I guess I won't get into that rabbit hole of questions and whatnot, but it does make me think and ponder that one of my goals is to create a course, and to create a podcast course, I think is extremely efficient. I can charge these people X amount of dollars to learn everything that we ultimately know.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you'd be showing them, I guess, things about the podcast not pertaining to their specific goals, like a
Well,
consultant.
anyone who starts a podcast has the same challenges that we face. The thing is, though, we're already, I mean, if there's 100 levels to podcasting, we're on level 23 while they're on level 1.
Yeah. I mean, and it comes easier to some. Depends. I mean, do you have a duo or are you by
Well,
yourself?
yeah, but like those individuals who I was helping and answering their questions, they're
Mm-hmm.
wondering like, how do you get listeners? Well, you get listeners by engaging your own audience. They're so fixated on getting guests that they're not fixating on
I'll
getting
create.
listeners.
Yeah. Well. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well.
So like and but yeah, but now the knowledge and value in which I would be charging is how do you get listeners? Well, you create a poll. Do you listen to YouTube or or listen to podcasts, right? And now you literally have an inbound lead list of people you can direct message saying, hey, could you please subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch our episode? Hey, could you please follow us on Spotify? Check us out, leave us feedback. That is how you ultimately engage and get listeners, which we were doing fucking a shit ton when we started up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny because the people who I mean, as you get older, you're closer to less people. They already know. People talk to me about the podcast often. I really should be reaching out now to new people. Should be daily. Everyone already knows about the podcast and they talk about it, which is great. So to get the more listeners, now you go out of your comfort zone.
Which is work. And
Yeah.
Rightfully said, it's work that we've yet even done. Well, we've done it, but not to the
Not
extent
to
to
the extent.
grow to the way we would want to scale, right? I mean, we're just having these conversations, hoping that it brings value to individuals. And I mean, we stay true to the brand that no matter what we do, we're showcasing building our empire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a great basis to the show. It's why we have listeners. And I mean, I have people, my cousin, I think we spoke of this. He was creating a podcast. I spoke to this girl who has created a fitness podcast, fitness and diet
What
podcast.
did I tell you a couple episodes ago?
Tell
Told you.
me if, oh, but yeah, with podcasting.
I told you that like a third of the people listening to us right now are going to have their own podcast within the next 2 3 years. Whether or not they continue with it or
Mm,
succeed or whatever doesn't matter, but they will try to start one. They're
yeah.
on level 1.
And I see the value of it. Um, I mean, it's certainly, it's really just that consistency. How dedicated are you to it? And are you passionate about the words you're trying to say? Or, I mean,
Well, everybody wants the platform though, but the technical aspect or the salesmanship is the difficult part, the marketing or I mean, how do you get it on Spotify and Apple? It's so incredibly easy and simple, but nobody knows that, and somebody will pay you $20 to know that.
yeah, I would say now or soon would be the time for that, right? Since you said everybody's
Yes,
eventually going to be on it. Now,
yes.
sooner or later, everybody's going to know whether they do it or
They,
not.
they're still not going to know because they're going to use apps like the app we used years back. I forgot the name of it. Damn. Um,
For when we,
Anchor, the
yeah.
app Anchor. So Anchor is a beginner podcasting app, and that's we went through those challenges on level 2 of the 100 level journey.
Yeah, I mean, and also where we recorded changed a bunch of times. How we
Drastically, the
recorded.
equipment we changed. I mean, it's always evolving. But the thing is, though, I mean, realistically, we have put in. I don't know. We've had to put in 500 hours at least.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We
what
have
is it?
500 hours recording time.
Yeah, this is episode 102. I mean, we had the quick 30 episodes of shorter time, but 75 episodes and
Maybe
30.
not 500. That's a bit.
No, it's
It's
steep.
got to be close.
It would
Maybe like
be,
300.
yeah, similar, something like that. That's a lot of time. And that's not to mention all that you talk about it off air. This isn't.
Well, all that constitutes as hours, though. I mean, whenever you're speaking of the podcast, it's essentially work. Hopefully, it's work.
Well, I mean, if you're enjoying it so much, is it really work, right?
Well, no. In fact, we enjoy the part that's joyful. We don't actually do the work part. The work part's a pain in the ass to actually get it. And when I was talking to those individuals who were creating the podcast, they asked me a bunch of questions, and then they asked me, how do we make money? And I hate that question, because the minute you think money, you lost. And we had that quoted last week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny you say that, because I had someone ask me that as well. He's like, "You making money on this?" Because they know how, and they know weekly I'm sitting at this desk and me and you were talking, and I'm like, "That's down the road. That may be down the road. That's not the vision right now. I mean,
Well, it's always the vision.
it's a vision, but it's not the sole goal at this moment.
No.
If it was the sole goal, we wouldn't be doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is partially, right? I mean, the goal of building my empire, at least, is to become financially free. Now, in order to be financially free, I need to build an audience large enough where I can provide valuable content in which they would pay me for, with no, unethical type of sales.
Yeah. I mean, I would say financial freedom is, I would assume, everyone's goal. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah,
I mean, it might not be their goal they work for, but it's something they dream of.
Well, no, I don't know. I mean, yeah, financial freedom, I suppose, but people are very happy working their 9 to 5 job and going on 2 vacations a year with their family. They love their boss. They're complacent. So it's not everyone's goal in that aspect. But I'll tell you what is very interesting is when I tell people what legacy really is, because at first they think it's motivational speaking and you know I'm just doing things, right? But the end goal is to eventually monetize off the audience that is there, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it just takes, you're building it, so it's going to take a while.
But but when I explain that to people, they always look at me like I then am a scumbag. It's very, very interesting.
I mean, anybody who is, I don't know, has an audience like an actor or Joe Rogan, they're utilizing their audience. They're not being a scumbag.
Of course, I'm not forcing you to buy something or lying to sell you something wrong.
Well, you know what I think it is? I think the way you think and the way you would explain things, some people may not get, and may not understand, because you're kind of like breaking it down to the lowest level, where like you're explaining how you're building this audience. And then once you have this audience and they're rocking with you, they're not doing nothing to take advantage of them. You're going to use this audience to help you.
But then they look at me when I try to explain that as if like it's a secret ulterior motive, that like I'm manipulating people. But like, no. And clearly, if there's no end goal from a monetary standpoint, outside of having a platform to have my voice live on, right? That's legacy. To have my voice live on, or to have a child, one or the other. I mean,
Both.
or both. Hopefully, it's both. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's wrong to monetize your audience.
I mean, I would certainly say not. I mean,
people look at you cockeyed like you scumbag.
Well, what do they do? Like, what do these people do? I mean, they're obviously not on the same thought process as you.
Nobody's on the
path.
fucking same thought process as me most of the time. It is what it is.
Yeah, a little angry over that.
I got but I woo side and let it go.
I saw that. You did come down real quick.
I was getting heated, and then I was like, I can't change nothing. It is what it is.
It is. That's it. If you can't control it, you just roll with it.
Man, but at work, it's been a very, very tough month, and people are they're just down. The morale is extremely down currently at work, and people look at me because my attitude is always level-headed. I don't let nothing dictate my attitude of positivity and optimism. And it's funny how people are envious of that, and I don't get it.
Uh, well, I guess there's levels to that. I mean, there's like what are you envious of? Are you envious of that? This is my mindset, or are they like working for their money where they may go broke or they may live on the streets or
So I think a lot of that mindset, when it comes to at least a work environment, comes to probably where you are financially, right?
uh-huh.
I have uh, I could be level headed when it comes to work because I'm not desperate for the paycheck that's paying me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly less stressful if that's the case. People who are working paycheck to paycheck.
But I also can't let things I can't control bother me, and that fortunately I've never let be the case, unless like maybe it's like a female that could probably. But then again, it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, I think as that's happened to us uh multiple times over the last 29 years, you just kind of learn that.
Not even females, also your friends. Your
Yeah.
friends. I mean, they can't listen to your communication, and you can't control it. But it frustrates the fuck out of you,
Well, that's because you think you would think you're on the same wavelength. Clearly not all the time.
which is wild. It's wild, and like I just know whatever wavelength I'm on is fucking the bass, like it's rocking.
I love to hear that, man.
You there?
Like that little amp you got.
You making fun of my little guitar yet?
No. I think I'm sure as loud as could be
I don't know, man. I've been having like a terrible experience lately.
with the amp or guitar.
I mean, I bought the guitar, then I had to buy the amp. Then it doesn't come with the wire. I had to buy the wire. Now I need a headset because I can't find the headset that I had, and now I don't know how to put the batteries in the amp. So like I'm sitting here just electric guitar, no sound.
Yeah, because you would need a headset, right? You can't be just jamming out with an amp in your house.
Well, yeah, I mean, anyone in my house would be probably extremely annoyed if they just hear me jamming the fuck out.
Shadow probably be up there jamming with you.
I tell you what, Shadow seems to like the guitar. Every time I practice, little guy comes up, he starts like gnawing on like the handle, the knobs. Like you can't do that,
Can't
bro.
be doing that. Can't be doing that. Take a
I was
sock or something.
I was pissed. I got to stop giving him the sock, bro. I'm
Yeah, no, he
outside.
bites my socks when I come
Uh,
over.
yeah, I'm outside. I'm helping my neighbor, and all of a sudden, like I'm touching my jacket, whole thing is shredded. Little bastard fucking shredded my jacket.
Oof. That ain't a good feel right there. But that's your little man, so you can't really get too
That's
mad.
my boy. Like it. I mean, yeah, but come on. Like I don't fucking go to your toys and take a scissor and cut them. But he
Yeah,
don't understand. I get it.
yeah, it's like a different world for him. Your jacket's one of his toys, as
Trust
long as
me.
it ain't the Yeezys.
He knows not to touch the Yeezys. I don't know why he knows or how he knows, but he knows.
It's probably because you got in his face a few times.
And yeah, I get in his face anytime he goes near the goddamn Yeezys. Don't touch my Yeezys.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I'm sure socks go in shoes, so he may know something about that, and that's probably why he goes for your shoes.
I don't know, but pets are dope. Dogs are dope.
Yeah,
I
I'd love to
mean,
get one eventually.
yeah, well, guess
People get cats because they don't have time for the dog.
I can't get a cat. I'll be fucking.
You'll be
What's that?
allergic.
Yeah, I die. You come over my house. You think I'm high. I don't even smoke pot.
What?
Huh?
You saying I would think you're high even though you don't smoke?
What are you saying over there?
What are your feelings towards marijuana?
Love it.
Uh never smoked though.
Who said that?
I don't know. It's a little thing I just heard.
Let me tell you something. Right after this episode, I'm gonna roll the fucking fattest blunt and smoke it, and then
The
I will.
fattest.
It's gonna be extremely fat. I told you, and I tell all my friends, and I tell anyone, nothing has changed about me except my blunts got bigger. I am the same person I was when I was 15 years old. Nothing changed.
I mean, that is not true.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
You,
I knew I was destined for
if you,
greatness then. I knew I was destined for greatness now.
for the sake of yourself, I would hope that's not true. You have to keep changing and elevating as you get older.
I mean, sure, you evolve, but like I'm the same person. I
So
like to
your
think.
core values maybe stayed the same, but you got
Sure,
bigger, you got smarter, you have more money.
sure, but well, that's not a characteristic. That's just me getting wealthier as I got older.
That was
But
one thing out of the three things I said.
so 33%. But my intentions,
Yeah, you
my
got smarter.
intentions, my intentions have never wavered. My life is still similar. It's very similar. The only thing is that money aspect, that 33% of your breakdown, that's what makes those buns fat.
Yeah, well, so I guess without that, those things wouldn't be any fatter.
Yeah, I'd be the same person exactly.
Oh man.
We're starting to build a couple of segments, and I think one of the segments we should have is what was said on Facebook or Instagram or something. Because again, yesterday, someone said, "What was your first successful business?" And I just comment. I was like, "My first successful business was selling pot for about 10 years, and then I got caught." But that's a good comment right there.
Did they respond? Was this a conversation or they just leave that one?
I was actually very surprised. I did not get a bunch of likes. Maybe I did, and I just didn't get notified. But I mean, usually when I drop a comment, I know if it's gonna,
He's
I
gonna
know what
blow
it.
up. Yeah, I guess
Yeah, yeah,
that depends on the demographic of the group you're in.
yeah. Well, the demographic was ClickFunnels, a bunch of fucking conservative business owners.
So
Yeah, but they're all entrepreneurs, man. I swear, I'm gonna make a brash opinion right now.
all right, let's hear it.
80% of entrepreneurs smoke pot.
Or like currently, or they always smoke pot, or they have.
They, all right, if we're gonna get into that, 80. All right, let's lower it down a bit. 65%
That's a big
of
drop.
entrepreneurs smoke pot twice a year.
Twice a year.
I mean, you put me on the spot here. I'm just saying.
You really gave them some leeway.
I was just, yeah. You know what? That 65% is back up to 80.
Yeah, because it's only twice a year.
Yeah, all right. It's back up to 80. It's back up to 80.
That's a whole business that eventually, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm hoping my world comes back around where I can get back in the business, but legally.
Yeah, you want to have a nice cannabis shop?
I mean, I go where the money goes.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that industry is a very difficult industry to make money since you need so much money. And due to where it is currently, socially, federally, you need a lot of money. You need insurances, liability.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit there and be a bud tender for like $15 an hour. That ain't happening.
Yeah. Well, there's people who probably are like super passionate about that. One day want to grow their own bud and like create their own strain, and they'll work for that low money. I mean, that's some entrepreneurs kind of like that, right? They're not in it for the money; they're in it for just to live their passion.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a true entrepreneur. I mean, that's just a complacent person. I mean,
Complacent business person.
there's nothing wrong with it, but if you don't have enough money to like do what you want, or you're just severely capped in your ability to maneuver, I don't know if that's like a passion thing. That's just you being probably silly or delusional.
So what if you open a business and then you're in like debt for quite some years, and I'd like maybe a decade or more, maybe 2 decades?
Kevin O'Leary says, I don't even know if it's Kevin O'Leary. I might have just read this in a book, but Kevin O'Leary came up. If your business is not profiting within 36 months, you have to drop your business. The problem is people become delusional and they continue and they ignore the actual numbers and it's their baby. They made it. It's their logo.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't drop it, then they get in more debt. They get in more debt. So
Mm-hmm.
like you have to have that self-awareness of the
Yeah.
intelligence. Is it working or not?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that comes back to you picking up like hobbies that become passions, self awareness. Is this what you want to do? Is this gonna make me successful? Yeah, certainly. I mean, I would agree. You don't want to start something that's just gonna put you in a bad position.
And have a plan. I mean, I was gonna buy an ice cream store when I was fucking 24. It was gonna cost me like 30 grand. I probably had 40 grand to my name, and I was getting ready to spend like half my money more. And I'm going through the books, and I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't add up. I have to sell like 600 cups of ice cream at $2.99 to break even and make a 60,000 a year. Like what? No.
Yeah, I mean that's why most ice cream places probably have one something that open half the year or 7 months out of the year, but other than that they sell cakes or they do something else. If you're just selling ice cream, you probably are not selling 600
Well,
cups.
that's
Unless
what got me is that he gave me the ability to create product. So learning our skills from Carvel, I was like, I think this is actually a very good deal. Um, Especially it was a franchise, and I was bypassing the franchise fees and all that bullshit. So I was
Mhm.
actually getting severely hooked up.
Well,
But it
that's
makes sense.
that. Yeah. Say what are you saying?
I was just saying it just didn't make sense. The business move didn't make sense.
Yeah, and that store is still there.
That store's still there. What's even more interesting is I was going to go into business with a partner, an old friend of mine, in which we don't even speak. So
That's a
that
lesson right there.
that is a huge lesson. And his dumbass was like ready to drop the money, like fucking. He was
But
dependent on me to make it work.
well, that's because he's not looking at the books and probably not an entrepreneur or that mindset.
Yeah, he's like, just fuck it. I'll work here. I'll own it. Like, nah, man. We have to look at hiring. We have to look at uh, time and fucking scaling. We have to look at it. Oh man, it was a headache. Stupid.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who just want to own something or just want something. That's I guess similar to homes, but like a business, someone just wants a business. But if it's not successful, that's a headache and a half. I would not want that.
I mean, you can say legacy is somewhat of a business, but like it doesn't generate no money. But it's something. It's interesting.
Yeah, but if it's something that's a plan that's still going on the way you want it to, then it's still
Yeah,
working.
yeah. And if I had to put a bunch of money in it and I was losing money, I would have to shut it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean it's totally different than I guess buying a store and not selling 600 cups of ice cream.
Oh man, brick and mortars are dead. They're dead. Maybe they'll come back. I don't know, but they're dead. The only way people go into an ice cream shop and sitting there with their cup of ice cream is if it's in an igloo. Or
Yeah, I was gonna say that my sister works at one of those igloo spots.
yeah.
You could buy first of all, it costs $50 to rent the igloo. So you're going there for what? And it's only 45 minutes. You could buy a bottle of champagne.
Well, that's supply and demand based on COVID currently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the igloos wouldn't be there unless COVID. This was an an adaptive move.
I tell you, I want to be in one of those igloos in like Iceland with like some hottie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, just us. But they're transparent. Like I guess I wouldn't want to be in the igloo with some hottie if I could look at my next door neighbor's igloo and see right through it.
Yeah, you be seeing her boobies up against
Oh,
the
whoa, whoa,
glass.
whoa! The children's show. You can't say boobies.
There's the children, Joe. What we said we talk about smoking weed.
Oh, whoa, whoa! TTs. I was watching The Office and Dwight was milking it with the kid. Come over here and touch these TTs. He was talking about the cow udders.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Great show.
Yeah, did you get my message? You didn't answer. I can't believe that dude is in
Oh, it's
Breaking
in
Bad,
both. Yeah,
and he's Mose of
yeah. He's
The Office.
Moses minute, but he is funny.
He's very minute, but he is in the show. Like he has a role. I
Well,
mean, Badger in Breaking Bad is a small role too.
Well, is that your connections? Is that your networking? How are you into? Can you not act that you haven't gotten bigger roles?
No, I think that's fucking the fact he is in two of potentially the top 10 greatest shows of all time from all categories. If you name all categories, Breaking Bad and The Office seems like it's in the top 10 of the best shows ever.
Yeah.
From just who you talk to. The fact that this dude was in both of them is insane. He has a net worth of 100 million. So no, I don't think he's not talented. I think he's
Well, there's no way you think he got that money just from those shows. He's got to be doing his own thing.
he created his own show as well that was picked up and had 4 seasons.
Oh, but you also
and
said he writes a little bit.
I was gonna say he was a writer on The Office.
Yeah. That makes sense then. That show is still watched, streamed as much as possible. If that wasn't off Netflix, that'd still be the number one stream
I
show.
cannot tell you how many I was watching yesterday where Andy sang "I Will Remember." You know that song?
Yes.
Yo, he killed it. Fucking killed it. I've been listening to this song for the past like 12 hours just on YouTube.
Like him or the actual
him.
song?
He sings it better, bro. He sings it better than Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, that's a brash opinion right there.
No, it's not, bro. Shut up. You said The Weeknd is like Michael Jackson.
I said, first of all, you were taking context.
Shut up.
And totally misguiding the audience. I said he sounds a little bit like Michael Jackson.
You are.
He has tried. What are you talking about? He wear a red jacket on the Super Bowl. He was clearly trying to beat Michael Jackson.
I ain't see no white glove. You see a white glove? I ain't see no white glove.
I saw other gloves because wants still to have his own image.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was wearing black gloves.
Did not replicate Michael Jackson. He is nowhere near Michael Jackson.
He's nowhere near as talented, but he sounds a little. I never said go back to the last episode 101.
I was gonna, but it was a long episode. I couldn't find it. I was like, fuck it. But I was gonna put you on blast. You deserve to be on blast for saying that brash decision.
It was a brash opinion, and first of all, it is true.
Man, there is only one person who is remotely close to being compared to Michael Jackson.
If you're comparing someone who sounds nothing like Michael Jackson, that is irrelevant.
Bro, it is the genre of R&B and pop, which could be hip hop as well.
Who is compared to Michael Jackson?
Chris Breezy.
That doesn't even. It's not even the same category of all.
Are you out of your mind? The dancing, the singing, the innovation,
I'm talking
the longevity, the hits. Chris Brown is the new age Michael Jackson. And you're telling me The Weeknd is?
First of all, The Weeknd is very talented. And second of all, I said he sounds like him. What are you not understanding?
Everything you're saying.
You don't sound like me. Your voice is totally different than mine. Chris Breezy does not sound like Michael Jackson. The Weeknd sounds similar to Michael Jackson when he sings. He is not as good. He is not as talented. But he sounds similar to Michael Jackson.
Look, I'm getting frustrated. I'm going to end the show here. I'm going to get high. Apparently, you're already high. And that is that.
I'm done with you as well.
Yeah. I'm done with you first.
Yeah, all right. Get out of here.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Have to end this show
Fucking
now.
Michael Jackson, crazy
Crazy kid don't understand nothing I'm saying.